Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. The news is live from our studios here at Kokomlimle. It's Joy997 FM here in Accra. In Kumasi, we're live on Love 99.5 FM and affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Swiss FM in Ho, Bewa Radio in Yendi, Gaskia FM in Techiman, and Radio KTU and in Koforidua. You can also download the My Joy Online app from Play Store and App Store to listen live around the world. Coming up in this edition, as the police hierarchy assures of tighter measures to curb armed robberies at banks, and bankers also calling for cashless transactions. Some customers of banks remain apprehensive in the wake of weeks of targeted robberies by these armed thieves using motorcycle.
I'm scared because maybe when you come and you withdraw money and there will be a robbery, killing and those things there, then there's no need for me to withdraw here.
The way things are going, actually I'm not safe, so it's very difficult for us.
We'll hear from them and speak to a banking consultant as well, also in this package.
When they look at the biology, they look at the genetic issues. They couldn't find a direct correlation between the biology and what people are doing, especially when they say, I'm a homosexual.
The LGBTQI plus debate rages as more proponents of the anti-gay bill argue research does not back the community's claim that their sexual orientation is genetic. We'll hear from the Catholic Bishops' Conference as they review. It has set up medical units to help rehabilitate homosexuals.
We have put out there a holistic treatment for gay people who are already involved in gay. To treat them, we have a number of specialist doctors.
Also, aggrieved Men's Gold customers charge Parliament to take over arrangements to settle their claims as management of the defunct gold dealership firm announces a roadmap to roll out payment of their locked-up cash.
And now he's saying he's doing audit. Who is auditing that? Who is supervising that auditing? Is it the same Men's Gold claiming to do validation or...
We have details as they accuse Men's Gold management of initiating yet another scheme to defraud them. We have sports.
We'll hear from a Zimbabwe sports journalist as he shares the expectation of the country ahead of the big game against Ghana tomorrow.
And in showbiz today, the much anticipated latest James Bond movie, No Time to Die, finally hits the Accra screens.
James Bond, License to Kill.
We have details from the viewing session hosted by the British High Commissioner, plus what to expect as our new show on the Joy Prime channel, Phenomenal Ladies, premieres this weekend. That and more on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apo. Many thanks for your company. This is your home of credible and independent journalism. The Ghana Association of Bankers is this afternoon urging customers of banks to take advantage of various online platforms rather than seek to always undertake cash transactions. This call comes in the wake of a string of robberies targeting persons who have just withdrawn cash from banks in various parts of the country or an attack on financial institutions. The Ghana Police Service says it has directed its commanders to deploy more men to banking enclaves to deal with the situation. ACP Kwesifori is Director General Public Affairs for the Police Service.
The Acting Inspector General Police directed all regional, divisional, and district commanders, as well as stations, to make sure that the banking area becomes one of our key operational areas to ward off robbers and criminals. But another trend that we've seen is that the robbers try as much as possible to move out of the banking area, trailing their targets outside the periscope. And they've noticed that Accra is becoming a no-go area, and now they are looking for other sub-targets elsewhere. But the police is rolling out a lot of programs that will contain all.
That's the Director General Public Affairs, ACP Kwesifori there. Well, the Ghana Association of Bankers says it has stepped up efforts to ensure that its customers opt for cashless transactions. John Ewa is Chief Executive.
It is a matter that really concerns us as banks, and also to the extent that our customers are affected, it also worries us that customers use our infrastructure or branches to withdraw cash, and either on their way or at their location, they are attacked by robbers and through all kinds of means.
Are there any steps that you are undertaking?
On your own device, you can do it. So we have increased our educational drive to educate our customers about these huge sums of money that are always being withdrawn from the banking system, ostensibly to pay for services that they can undertake at their locations without having to walk into the branch in the first place. It is impossible for the banks to be providing escort for these services. So we ask for customers to be extra cautious. If you are withdrawing funds that are in excess of a certain quantum, I believe it will be advisable not to come alone to the banking hall.
That's John Ewa, Chief Executive of the Ghana Association of Bankers. I'll take you live to the Ashanti region now, where police have stepped up efforts to deal with the robbery situation. On Wednesday, armed men entered the Atonsu branch of the Adansi Rural Bank and killed a private security man on duty. Erastus Asaridonko, who has been interacting with customers of some banks, reports that they are apprehensive about doing business in these banks. Some have opted for cashless transactions. Erastus joins us live with more on this. Erastus, walk us through what exactly some of these customers have been telling you.
Well, so a number of them I spoke with indicated that, yes, currently, if not for this incident alone, they have been very, very scared about moving cash from bank and even depositing cash in there. So some have been resorting to monitoring their movement, going with a number of people, and even resorting to mobile money service and all that. We can listen to some of them.
The government should help. Increasing police presence at the banks will help.
Of late, I find it difficult when I'm going to the ATM to withdraw money. Currently, I went to the ATM, but the way things are going, actually, I'm not safe. So it's very difficult for us. And I try using money from my accounts to my phone. The charges there is too much. So it makes me to stop. So I normally prefer to go to the ATM. But ATM, our risk there is very high now.
I'm scared. It can be the case that someone is watching and following me. He may cross me eventually and shoot.
I'm scared because maybe when you come and you withdraw money, and there will be robbery, killing, and those things there. Then there's no need for me to withdraw here on mobile money, so that I can do what I want to do.
But depositing money this morning, did you have the thought that something could happen?
When I was coming, even I was thinking about it. So how maybe if something happened, but I tried.
Well, Erastus, we've heard from these customers. We'll be speaking to a banking consultant on this, but do we have an update from the police on this Adansi Rural Bank situation?
Well, not yet. I'm told by my police sources that there is still early days yet. They are still expanding their investigations, but in due course, they hope to unravel the mystery behind the killing.
That's my colleague Erastus Asaridonko there reporting from the Ashanti region. Let me bring in Nano Otwe Champong. He's a banking consultant. We are grateful for your time here on the Midday News, sir. So you've heard some of these customers. Safety is a priority for them, but issues about charges also coming up. How then do we bridge this gap?
I think it's all down to education, where we have to help in educating the public that the lens of transactions that we have. I mean, now as of trying to develop a cashless society where we are all being encouraged to use the digital platform as opposed to the physical cash platform. Yes, there are some transactions that we can't do without the physical one, but the more and more are being made possible to deal with the digital form. So the education has to go out to the public that if it's at all possible that you can use the digital form, please resort to that. But also people must be very careful about how they converse over the phone in the presence of other unknown strangers and so on. Because sometimes somebody may be going to the bank to withdraw a large sum, and then they'll be talking on the phone, maybe in the public transport, and you don't know who it will be listening in. And so those little tips are very important for us to give to the general public. But by and large, the banks have been doing their bit by encouraging the digital platform as opposed to the physical cash one. Almost all the universal banks now have apps that one can use to transact almost any business that physical cash can do. And so we have to encourage the public to resort to those things.
But generally, at least listening to some of these callers and residents that have been interacting with us, the concern is that it looks like banking in general now is not safe. Is that accurate?
No, I wouldn't agree with that one bit. Banking is still safer than the alternative, i.e. to put the money under your pillow. It is still safe to use the banking sector. But as the business, gets sophisticated, the public also have to try and move ahead of them and find alternative means to the use of physical cash. And that's the advice that we can give to the general public.
So we know what the public should do. We've heard from the police also on their intervention as well. How about the banks? In your interaction with them, are they also doing enough to make banking safe?
Yes, the banks are, from my interaction, they are doing enough. Most of them are trying to discourage people. And an example that I will share this morning with one of your colleagues was, a bank where people go to the ATM to withdraw money. And naturally, when you use the ATM, it will give you a receipt as to how much you withdrawn and the balance on your account. Then there was a bank where after getting the receipt, people will physically walk into the branch, at which frontage they took the money and asked for their balance over the counter. So the bank said, if you come to the banking hall to ask for your balance, we will charge you. And it discourages people. So now when they use the ATM and the ATM gives them the receipt, the balance is there and they were making use of that balance. So there has been gradually discouragement to the public to use the alternative means to the physical cash. So, and COVID, the downside we've all suffered, but the upside is that it has helped the banks to fasten their digitization agenda, and now they all have apps that you can use to transact virtually anything that you possibly can do with physical cash.
We are grateful for your time. That's Nanotwe Champong. He's a banking consultant. I'll stay a while longer on security, and in less than 3 hours, Dr. George Akufu-Dampare will take office as the 23rd Substantive Inspector General of Police. The 51-year-old officer was appointed in acting capacity in July, but has in a short time convinced President Akufo-Addo he's the man for the job. Ahead of the formal swearing ceremony at the Jubilee House, we'll bring you Dr. Dampare's profile and the activities he's embarked on shortly after his appointment in this News Desk report.
George Akufu-Dampare, until his appointment, was the Director General in charge of administration at the service. He was the overall best recruit at the National Police Training School. Upon completion of his training in 1991, he became a chartered accountant at the age of 25. He is the youngest acting IGP to be appointed in the Fourth Republic. He is the 8th youngest to be given the position since 1957. COP Dampare holds a Doctor of Philosophy degree in Finance and Management from the King's College London and 2 Masters of Science degrees with distinction in Accounting and Finance from the London South Bank University, UK, and Business System Analyst and Design from the City University of London. He has served as Head Director General of almost every department in the police service and is credited with the idea that led to the establishment of the Police Office of the Army General, which serves as a central point for accounting for arms and ammunition within the Ghana Police Service. Since assuming office in acting capacity, he has toured the entire country, urging police personnel to serve with integrity.
Let's continue doing what is right, what is pleasing in the sight of God, what is pleasing in the sight of the community, what is pleasing in the sight of the law, and leave the rest with us. As long as you do what is right, as long as you are professional, I can assure you, we'll do whatever it takes to make your service career a pleasing, refreshing, and a wonderful one.
Dr. Dampare comes to the job at a time the country is experiencing upsurge in armed robberies in some parts of the country, with some calling for increased police presence on the streets. President Akufo-Addo, who recently announced financial clearance for the service to recruit 5,000 more personnel, said only discipline can help the Ghana Police Service win the fight against crime.
It is important that discipline prevails throughout the service. This is a charge I give the Acting Inspector General of Police and the entire police administration. Without discipline and effective supervision, winning public confidence and support to fight crime will be very problematic. I cannot end without reiterating the support of government and I for the recent actions taken by the Acting Inspector General of Police, George Akuffo-Dampare, which are eliciting strong backing from the population. He has so far vindicated my decision to repose trust in him to hold this high office.
Well, for the political watchers, the IGP's neutrality and professionalism of the service will guarantee cooperation.
I expect that he should go on an agenda of rebranding the Ghana Police Service. The Ghana Police Service is not supposed to be seen as a warrior. The Ghana Police Service is supposed to be seen as a friend.
He can be political because he owes his appointment to a political actor, but he shouldn't be partisan.
That's a News Desk report on IGP George Akuffo-Dampare. Now, the region debate on whether persons who consider themselves LGBTQI are born that way continues as more proponents of the Human Sexual and Ghanaian Family Values Bill 2021 question their claim that their sexual orientation is genetic. So most LGBTQI plus persons and advocates have argued their condition is genetic. Shortly, we'll hear from one of them who is no longer engaged in the act. But first, listen to this young gay man who has been sharing his ordeal with CNN's David Mackenzie.
We're heading to a safe house in Accra. We're meeting Joe. We agreed to hide his identity because he's afraid of being attacked again.
Take me back to that moment when those men came and started harassing you.
I was shaking when they took me to that room and then they set up their cameras and I was screaming, I was crying.
His crime, the gang of men say, approaching another man. Is it true that you told him that you like him, they ask?
Like, how can this happen to me? They beat me around 9 to 11. All those times, they were beating me. I wanted to kill myself.
So that was a young gay man who has been sharing his ordeal with CNN reporter David Mackenzie. Well, there's increasing support for the bill. A while ago, a group calling itself Advocates for Christ has been briefing journalists on a medical and scientific research on the impact of LGBTQI plus activities. Edem Senanu is president for the group.
A study in 2020, Bogart and colleagues agreed that the association between existing biomarkers and sexual orientation were so small that, taken together, they could not explain why people become homosexuals or say they are homosexuals. In other words, when they look at the biology, they look at the genetic issues. They couldn't find a direct correlation between the biology and what people are doing, especially when they say, I'm a homosexual. They couldn't find a scientific basis. But beyond that, the largest ever experiment done worldwide is called the Human Genome Project. The Human Genome Project. And some of the researchers involved in this, investigating this, they looked at 500 million citizens of the world. 500 million people, and the conclusion is culture and environment. At the end of studying 500 million citizens of the world, the Human Genome Project established that there is no genetic basis to say that they're gay.
Also at the same press conference was Aaron Ajete Akrong. He says he was a former homosexual and revealed how he almost married his gay partner after being gay for 20 years. He warns Ghana will be signing a death warrant if it allows the legislation of LGBTQI activities.
I used to be gay for almost 20 years, who nearly got married to my gay partner. Then I met Christ. Now, as our chairman said, there's no gay genes. Why? Because some people become gay through poverty. So poverty can't change my genes in my body. No one was born gay. It's just a feeling. If you call any gay person here, the person will go like, I feel this way. So I'm here to say that it is possible to come out. The Bible says we are born in sin. It's just a feeling. naturally and unnaturally, because some of them naturally, that's how they feel. Because I was born that way. At the age of 9, I started having an affair with boys till 2018 when I met Christ. Naturally, that's how you feel, but it's unnatural.
That's Aaron Ajete Akron, a former homosexual, speaking at that news conference a while ago. We'll stay a while longer on this issue because President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference, Most Reverend Philip Name, has revealed that the church has set up medical units to help rehabilitate homosexuals. This is because the church maintains homosexuality is a medical condition, despite the fact that the WHO, as far back as 1990, removed it from its list of diseases. Speaking in an interview with Raymond Akwa on Upfront, the Archbishop explained a crack team of experts have been identified to help those who admit they need treatment without exposing their identity.
We have a roadmap of continuously engaging and sensitizing our church members on it. We also have a roadmap of praying for that God's will also be done in this matter. So we've lined up a series of prayer in parishes, in dioceses. But beyond that, we also think that this is not just anti. We have put out there a holistic treatment for gay people who are already involved in gay, to treat them, because some of them are actually experiencing hormonal imbalances, and that is pushing them there. We have a number of specialist doctors who are giving up their services, and we don't want to call names, because there may be some who are willing to be treated of this issue of being gay or lesbian. It can be treated.
I see.
It is not just a way of life.
I see.
And we don't want to publish locations
of these hospitals and who was being treated.
Who is, because some may want to go there. And we want to respect the confidentiality of the gay members.
That's President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference, Archbishop Philip Name. This is the Midday News here on Joy997 FM. And our top stories for this edition, as police and the Bankers Association assure that they are curbing armed robberies at these banks. Some customers we've been hearing from them remain apprehensive in the wake of weeks of targeted robberies by armed thieves using motorcycle. We've been hearing from a banking consultant on this issue as well. When we return from the break, we have sports, and then aggrieved Men's Gold customers charge Parliament to take over arrangements to settle their claims as management of the defunct gold dealership firm announces a roadmap to roll out payment of their locked up cash. Also in showbiz, the much anticipated latest Bond, James Bond movie, No Time to Die, finally hits the Accra screens.
James Bond, License to Kill.
This bulletin is live in the Volta region on Jubilee Radio Keta, Volta Premier and Kekali Radio in Ho, Lolonyo FM in Hohoi, Pando FM in Pando, Fafa Radio in Joje, Radio Hogba in Angloga, Klenam Radio Bato, Victory FM Aplao. In the Eastern region, we're on K-Poly Radio in Kofrodia. In the Northern region, we're on Bishara Radio, Radio 123 and Radio Justice in Tamale. And in Savannah region, we're on Inkelege FM in Bole. In the Upper East region, we're live on A1 Radio and Dreams FM in Bogatanga and Radio Fumbese in Fumbese. In Upper West, we're live on Radio Sonmale in Wa, Radio Freed in Nandom, Radio Wa in Wa, and Bolu FM in Bolu. In the Bono East region, we're on Gaskia FM in Techiman. In Bono region, we're on Sky FM and Parrot FM in Sunyai. Central region, we're live on ATL FM in Cape Coast. And in the Western region, we're on Radio Max in Takrady.
It's the midday news. Time for sports.
Yes, Semef, and all attention will be at the Cape Coast Stadium tomorrow as the Black Stars are eager to start life under new coach Milovan Rajevac on a good note against Zimbabwe. Now Ghana sits second in Group G with 3 points from 2 matches after beating Ethiopia 1-0 and suffering a defeat by the same scoreline to South Africa in Johannesburg. Now Ghana has a superior head-to-head record against Zimbabwe, having secured 3 wins and 2 draws in 6 matches, with the only defeat coming at the last meeting at the 2006 AFCON. However, Zimbabwean sports journalist Lawrence Mangenje remains positive ahead of tomorrow's tie.
Well, the general consensus as well is that with all due respect to Ghana as a footballing powerhouse, we actually still believe that the team still has a chance to make it, and all it's got to take is for us to have at least a positive result in one of or both of the games against Ghana. So we, as a nation, we are looking forward to the game. We respect Ghana as an opposition, the football powerhouse, but equally so, we actually still believe that we can go toe to toe with them. Despite that, we are looking forward to the game. The coach himself is someone we trust a lot, and we expect him to grind the result, despite the fact that Ghana is an African powerhouse.
Zimbabwean sports journalist Lawrence Manjenge.
Were you a customer of Men's Gold? No.
Not at all.
Okay, yeah. Well, so the coalition of aggrieved customers of Men's Gold is demanding government takes over the processes to settle their claims. It follows the announcement by management of the defunct gold dealership firm that it will begin paying affected customers from December 20, 2021 through June 30, 2022. My colleague Manuel Kranting has been following this. He has a copy of that statement from Men's Gold. What more does the statement say?
Also, MFR, the statement says that gold collectible trading claims supporting document received within the period of 28 October 2019 through 28 November 2019 for rigorous audit purposes is about 80% complete. Now, it continues to say that a great number of about 45% of those claims are either incomplete, fraudulent, inconsistent, comparative to date figures and amounts received as returns on the gold collectibles trades with the agreed sum stipulated in a signed and sealed gold sale and purchase agreement. Most unbelievably, it says that the management has discovered shocking evidence that points to the fact that some claimants purporting to be indebted to by Men's Gold transacted through third parties, some unethical Men's Gold and Brew Marketing Consult staff members, and in other instances via referrals, mostly close relations who took delivery of their funds.
Interesting. Well, meanwhile, the customers are questioning the authenticity of the audit conducted by the company. They want Parliament to take over the arrangement of the payment. Frederick Forsing is PRO for the Coalition of Aggrieved Men's Gold Customers.
We don't trust Men's Gold because we remember in 2019 they brought a similar roadmap in October 2019 that they were going to start payment in December of that year. Nothing happened. So we don't trust them. And as customers, we will not rely on men. We have decided not to rely on Men's Gold, anything coming from Men's Gold again. In most cases, when they issue such communique, customers, when they follow up and they go to them, they end up being scammed by these same Men's Gold people. The audit report that they claim to have, they should submit everything to Parliament because we have indicated publicly that we are going to Parliament and we are asking Parliament to prove the whole Men's Gold issue. And now he's saying he's doing auditing. Who is auditing that? Who is supervising that auditing? Is it the same Men's Gold claiming to do validation or auditing? And now he comes back to us and said that even 45% of the 80% people he has audited, he believes they connive with their former staff no, and want to use this platform to tell all our customers that this is number one again, the 7th time. We are getting to Christmas. They should not fall for this gentleman and his company again. Men's Gold does not have any credibility.
That's Frederick Forson, his PRO for the aggrieved customers of Men's Gold.
Thanks for choosing us as always. We are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. I'm Arbor Kumson.
Wondered how she has survived in a largely male-dominated newsroom and rose through the ranks to become editor? You have an opportunity to ask her everything you want to know as she takes the seat on Moments with Joy on KMJ on social media today. You can't miss it. Araba Kumsing is on Moments of Joy. I have a few questions.
So join that conversation on the Joy Entertainment GH page on Facebook. KMJ will be hosting it. It'll be very exciting. 2 p.m. today. You don't want to miss it.
You can't.
Another thing you don't want to miss is that James Bond movie. It finally has hit the Accra screens, and here's a trailer.
James,
You don't know what this is?
James Bond, licensed to kill. In love with Madeline Swan. I could be speaking to my own reflection. Only your skills die with your body. And life is all about leaving something behind.
If we don't do this, there will be nothing left to say.
Well, there's no time to die indeed.
There's no time to die, but phenomenal ladies.
Yay!
Sunday on the 10th of October on my birthday.
Yes.
We are premiering that show with Emefa
Season 5.
Season 5. Who's
On
our
Joy
first
Prime,
guest?
Lawyer Nana Edubia Cranting.
Yeah. Can't wait for it. 4:30 p.m. on the Joy Prime channel.
Sunday, I'm in your homes.
Yeah.
Everywhere. In the evening also we have the probe.
And
at 8 p.m.
Sunday
on the
it's
Joy
my
News channel.
birthday, so
Yes.
I'm all over.
Happy birthday in advance, my feet. So, and it's Elvis Kwashi's birthday as well, right?
Yeah, definitely.
GM, papa. And that's it for the midday news here on Joy 99.7 FM. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. I am Emefa Apau. Please enjoy your weekend. But first, listen to Living Word with Pastor Mensa Otabil.
Hello, please, am I speaking to Miss Joanna Kuma?
Yes, please.
My name is Philip and I'm calling from MTN. Someone has just sent you money and we will need you to enter your PIN number so that we can put the money in your account.
Hey,
oh, Dada, MTN will never ask you for your PIN. Never reveal your PIN to anyone